All right. Our next project in the lab is a Dietz ACME inspector lamp with tons of black paint all over it. Everything's all painted shut. Yeah. I've been messing with this. I mean, I've opened a couple things, but I haven't taken anything apart. You see that the reflector is past its prime. I know the feeling. And you can see that the handle's missing. You can see, and you can see all this black paint. It's painted over the solder. Painted over the solder there. So this would be there'd be a handle that would go right there, and it would connect here, and it would connect there. So, well, at least it's got the bail on it. I can't tell if, okay, I thought maybe that was yellow paint coming through, but it appears to be oxidation. You almost see them pat numbers. We'll be able to get to them once we get all this stuff off. And who knows what they painted over, and you can see it's just globs, there's runs in it. Stuff is just, yeah, character's all gone. It's like somebody using a Instagram filter on their picture. They just covered up everything with paint. I don't like it. So, we're gonna get rid of it and fix this thing up. And who knows, maybe we'll find a handle. Not around here, but in the future. I don't mean like today. I mean look underneath my bed. There ain't gonna be no handle. This is my first square tube restoration, and my first inspector lamp. I have a couple of lamps. One is a Rayo, and another Dietz is a Dietz Junior wagon lamp. And this is my first square tube inspector lamp. So, and the parts that are here look like they're quite sturdy and good and lacking in tons of rust. I mean, you can see there's some rust that probably painted over there, but other than that, I mean, there's no holes or anything. So this, we'll take some stuff apart here, and then we'll go to the sink and get rid of some of this paint. Right, ACME inspector. So I guess we could start by getting the bail off, so I could work on everything else here. See. All right. That's tight. Nice globe. Got some nice swirling in there. Wonder if I have anything else that might be more appropriate. I don't think so. I don't think so. Not in that size. Okay. So this is call that a top lift. You could barely move it because it's painted. Ooh, all right. Well, there's some rust. What's going on here? Interesting. Okay. We'll figure that out. Ooh, that's, I gotta figure out how to take that apart. I think I can see it there. All right. We'll figure that out. There's a little clip here to get the lens out. Interesting. I could see where it was blown and broken off. Huh. I think Kirkman makes replacements for these. I believe I heard that somewhere. So on the back, you can see, yeah, they didn't paint where that lens was. Interesting. Yeah. It's a vintage leaf. More vintage leaves. Alright, bonus. Oh, it's going to be hard to see down the tank and do all that. Oh yeah, that's got a baffle in it like the Junior does. That is painted on there, filler cap. So obviously this thing was not fired up since it was inspecting, I would assume. Can you see what I'm doing right there? Alright. Okay, well that's not, well, it's a little chewy, but we'll make it work. Okay, it got bird poop on it, vintage bird poop to go with the leaves. Okay. Oh my. I got this. This is just plastic bristles. Just gotta run it around in here and get these big chunks out. Boy, there are some crevices to get in here to get that damn paint out. Oh man. Luckily the stripper is a gel and it's a paintable kind. You can get in these holes, but me getting in there and, you know, with a Dremel and making sure everything looks pretty, it's gonna be rough, man. Rough. I can see runs everywhere. Man, I think I deformed that by barely touching it. I can't quite tell if that's that or the paint I got off of there. Alright, we'll figure it out after we get some paint off, and then maybe we'll throw some WD in there and let it sit. Maybe I'll put some on there and let it sit while I'm preparing the paint remover and the sink to accept such a large piece of machinery. Okay, we got a stripper, we got a brush, we got a lantern, and a sink. Now we're going to let science do its thing. Well, it's starting to bubble up a little bit in places. Looks like the original black is coming through. Alright, well, stuff's coming off nicely. I've been letting it sit for about a half an hour. And now I'm going to wire brush all that off. See what's left. Okay. Alright, we're back from the sink. And here's what we got. This, most of the paint is off this. I'm going to paint off this. This, it's difficult. This is a new thing for me, is this tall dome on the burner here. And how to get that out, because it's got to get in there and deal with that. This thing is completely seized up, but it looks like there's little tabs here. I'm going to clean that up with a Dremel to see exactly what I'm dealing with there. I think I just pull those tabs out, which are kind of pounded in, and this slides out. So there's a lot of rust and something not right going on there. But first we have a bit of a kind of an emergency. I did a lot of rinsing out of this thing, and it has a baffle in the tank. See if you can see. Yeah, so All this water is in the fount, and I can't get it out. I can't pour it out there because of the baffle. It's just, it'll be coming out like one drop at a time. So I got to get this cap off. Got to figure out. I hope I don't wreck it, but I got to get that off. I mean, that water's just going to sit in there. That's bad news. Okay, so got a lot of paint. A lot of paint off. There was layers of this awful brushed on paint, and then there was the Dietz black was underneath it. But this is gonna be, it's gonna be pretty. It's gonna clean up real nice. It's gonna take some work. There's a lot of real estate here to deal with, but I gotta worry about getting those crannies. And I want to get this stuff now before this paint starts hardening back up. Oh, no. No. Okay, I was able to reconstruct cap a bit, and for display purposes. Oh man, yeah, I feel bad for doing that. I really do. And I've done a lot of lanterns on this channel, and I've made a couple mistakes. Should I say that? I should say I've made 100 mistakes. But that's how I learned to do it. That was frustration. Frustration and timing on how to get this water out of here. In fact, let me go get that out of there right now. God almighty. Okay. So, and I rinsed it with some hot water, slushed it out. A lot of stuff in there. I don't think they've had access to that in quite a long time. And it would appear, by looking at the follow the path of rust, that this was on display for a while. It started up here. Kind of getting at that. Ooh, yeah. I got to be careful I don't push that down too much. And then down here, all in the back, down here and around the burner area and into the tank. So, path of destruction, I see. So, next thing, I want to get out of the way and figure this thing out. So I'm going to clear away some of this rusty madness and take a look at these little tabs here. So, I'll try moving these tabs a little bit. Not sure how much. I think that should do it. Yeah, judging by the inside, I don't see anything. All right. Oh, good. Okay. And I'm going to push those back in just a little bit, just so I don't mess them up while grinding or doing any other weird things. I'm just going to get them out of the way a little bit. Okay, so we can deal with that. That is locked up. The wick is full of water. If it will yank out at all. Yes, it will. Yeah, and you can see that was rusted right in there. Yeah, lots of unusual rust. And that, when I was reconstructing that little filler cap, the rust was right up where the gasket would be at the top. It was just loaded from bottom to top. All the threads were rusty. So I don't know if I would have ever gotten that off. That's what I'm going to tell myself anyway. Okay, and these gears are locked up. It's going to get everywhere in there. That's it. Okay, get it on the table over there. This now, I'm pretty heavy. Pretty heavy. I'm gonna go for a. Actually, I'm gonna go smaller one. Okay, so clean that up. Looks a lot better. Okay, back to this. It's moving. It's moving. It looks like the gears are there. I think what I'll do is I have this rust removal gel that I have yet to find a good application for. I will go do that, and I'll be right back. Rust remover, rust remover. And here we have some patent dates. And we got 99, 06, 07, 08, 10, 12, 18, and 18. I wonder if I should just go straight to the... Okay, I thought that was a gap. But it's not, it's paint. Good, that's good to know. And here's that solder. And I wonder if those were little guide hooks. Oh yeah, there's little holes where it went in. I wonder if I should just go straight to the wire wheel and get off the big chunks, and then we'll talk about small tools. What do you say? Okay, we're gonna do that, and we will be back. So, well, it really showed us what's been under all that paint. Look at that. There's great metal under there. Great. Of course, I couldn't get to all the areas, but I got to some. Got to the outside of the tubes, back part of here, and now we're going to go to the Scotch-Brite bits. The bottom of that shot. Luckily, when there's a globe in here, that prevents it from going all the way down. Now, without the globe, that's what we got. So, progress being made here. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the sink and put another coat of stripper. This factory black paint is bare. Yeah, all that. It just won't come off. And it's hard, you know, some of it's softened up with the paint stripper and then hardened up again. so shouldn't have left it. Okay, we'll do that, and we'll be back. Okay, we're back from the sink, and the rust remover did a pretty good job here. Loosen that up, and then I want to clean this out, and I got this little chunk of wick that I know I'll never use. It's a 9mm, but I have 6 feet of it, so I'm just gonna run this through. Yeah, see what it just brought out? All that rust remover gel gunk. Okay. I'll run through again. All right, well, you get the idea. That's cleaning it out just fine. And I'll just keep doing that a couple more times, then I'll show you what the difference is on the lamp. One problem with that rust remover gel is this awful white film it leaves. So you gotta get all that off. So I'll get in there with something. I'll find something to get in there. Then I'll polish up this copper here. We'll come back to that. All right, so we got a lot more stuff off. And I still see some stuff bubbling a little bit. I just quickly washed it down with a soap and water. But I want to try to get a lot of this off before it hardens back up. So in here is the hardest stuff to deal with. So first of all, looks like to do some paint globs there. I might be able to get out, maybe. There's still some globs of paint remover in here because I couldn't reach it. I'll do a little steel woolen while I decide on what to do next with the body of the beast here. Somebody was glass blowing these, and then you impregnate them with what? Silver oxide? Is that how you do it? I don't know. That's pretty cool, even if it's all messed up. Well, I don't think we need to go a whole lot farther on anything, really. When we got all the paint off, we got most of it out of the little tiny spots. But I mean, we did really good getting it out of them little spots. Just a little bit of stuff. Oh yeah, so there's some paint stripper crud with steel wool crap stuck to it. So we'll work on that for a minute. Well, we're making this beat up cap look halfway presentable. I did find a donor cap in the junk box. That'll do. And that's a donor. That goes back in the junk box. What I did with this, here, I'll show you. Show you what I did. So I was working on the filler cap, and it was a little deformed. I took this donor, which I wasn't too concerned about, and jammed it in there, down in there. And it brought the shape back and aligned the threads. Well, I actually wouldn't mind going after those threads a little bit more with a better tool. Now we're gonna treat. Should be interesting to see what treating does to all this. It'll darken up all this oxidation. It's gonna look cool, but it's gonna look very different than it does right now. Let me put this in a junk box. Okay. So we'll go with these small bits. First, these are things that definitely need something. Oh yeah, I still got to get these. Actually, I'm going to hold off on this till I get that internal part put back in. Maybe we'll do that right now before treating the rest of all this stuff. Let's see here. Well, I better wipe that down there. It's going to be many years before these parts are taken apart again, I would think. Nope. Got to go in just a bit farther. What I do is I got to hit these in with a hammer or something, I think, to get them to where I want them. to go more. Okay. We're in. Going through a lot of 3/4 wick. All right. I doubt this is going to work, but it's worth a try. Oh, look at that. How did it get that far and yet not want to go any farther? Well, maybe once it gets a little kerosene in there. Okay. Oh, yes. Back to what we were doing. Wow, I have really made a mess of this cutting board with this lantern. Okay. Well, gonna paint a serious picture here. So, if this is your first time seeing a video, I use a paintbrush to get in the nooks and crannies because I got fat fingers and can't get into all the spots. So I use a paintbrush to get in all them spots. And then when I'm done getting in the corners, I'll grab a microfiber and rub it all around. There's lots of hidden nooks and crannies to get at here. Everywhere. All right, so that's the brushing part. I pretty much did it all, but I really don't need to put any of this on the rag. I'll just put a little on because I want to start with the bottom. Right, let's assemble. Pop our reflector in there. Reflector is in, what there is left of it. Now, where this sits. And I got to take all this stuff back out when I'm done with the video because the tank had water in it from me rinsing it out. Oh, geez. Okay. I got to curl up this wick because we have a baffle in the tank. Barely any room to keep a lot of wick. I imagine that could, I might need to cut some off. That looks like I do. That's a shame. Oh, man. My kingdom for a good pair of scissors. Oh, man. Get in there. Okay. That's what we want. Now, coming together. Coming together now. Let's see what happens here. Very thin, man. Very thin, this cap. Well, that'll have to do. Ha! Okay. Now. Oh, it's dirty after all that stuff I'm just spitting out at it with all these wheels and grinders and crap. I'm gonna go wash this up. I'll be right back. Boy, all the fingerprints I put all over it, just bringing it in here. All right, here we are, folks. ACME Inspector. Dietz. How'd I do? Found's in really nice shape. It's all in really nice shape, except for the end of that center post and that filler cap. Oh, and the reflector. But oh, there's a brush hair in there. That's gonna bother me. A couple cat hairs on it. And hey, we're done. We're done with this project. That was a doozy. That was a couple long days. But that's fun. Now I know what it takes to get one of these babies cleaned up. Hey, folks, here we are. ACME Inspector. First one here on the channel in the lab. So, that being said, folks, as usual, don't you go change it.